I was amazed how negatively received yesterday's programme, The Last Priests of Ireland, was received by the majority of people that commented on my video. Um, I wouldn't have watched it. Only somebody said, "Oh, you're in it," so I said, "Well, I go out of curiosity, watch the whole thing." I suppose the message I want to give to people, and one of the priests that was in the program, he did reach out and he put a comment on the program. He said, "Thanks for your great commentary, Robert. My name is Father Dominic Domagala, and by taking part in the program last Monday, I hope to show the hopeful face of the faith and new vocations in the church in Ireland." Sadly, RTE twisted my words, and instead of allowing me to express it, they added their own agenda there. I was saying that it was through that loneliness we can discover as priests how good the people in the church are. I totally agree with David Quinn's opinion that we should always start from the first principle, the faith paradigm. And I think Katrina Lynch, lay catechist in Upfront later on that evening, was a great example of that. I didn't watch the other programs, so I don't watch RTE. And I suppose the advice I'm going to give to the Irish Church, to the remaining 700,000 or so practicing Catholics left on this island, that love the church, that love the faith, don't let RTE drive the agenda. Don't let RTE drive the agenda. Researchers for different programs have rang me up 3 times asking me to get involved in our radio or whatever television because of the channel, because of events we've done, walked across or stuff like that. And I've said, hold on a second, I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody with no budget, no editor, no team behind me, an iPhone, a MacBook, and you want to interview me now to be part of what? Your your viewer your viewer to up your viewers to drive conversation on your platform. Hold on a second. After 6 million views of mine, now you say, "Oh, maybe this guy he seems popular. Let's get him on, and he's doing this." And I've said, "No. What's the point? What's the point? I don't need more exposure. I don't need anything from them. I'm not going to be paid from them. So and this is the message I'm going to give to the church. You drive the agenda. You drive the message. Don't allow them to drive the message, to come in and interview you and clip up what they want and throw out what they don't want. Anybody that's seen on my platform when I've interviewed people, I always want them to express their opinion. I want to hear from them what you have to say. When I interviewed Colin Maxwell, he's a Free Presbyterian, and a man of the faith, loves the Bible, and said, "Look, we have totally different opinions here. I'm a Catholic, you're a Presbyterian. We've totally different, but I want to hear your opinion, and I want to drive this conversation by listening to your opinion." And of course, it creates a debate. But I didn't go in and take his interview and then click out this and interview that and edit this. No, I ran with it. And I always say to people that I interview, look, it's your interview, and you're free to express yourself. And anything, if somebody wants a cut, say if somebody starts coughing during an interview, well, you can cut that out. The sensible cuts. But I don't edit the content, and people like that, and they like to listen to it. And that's what I'm saying to the Catholic Church now. You drive the conversation. We don't need RTE. We don't need legacy Irish media. We can drive our own conversation on various platforms at this moment of time, while RTE is dying off, and I don't pay for them. I don't pay a TV license. I don't look at them. They don't influence my thought. All during the pandemic, every day the death toll, and 10 people have died from COVID today. Never mentioned the fact that 500 people died of suicide, that the leading death under the age of 60 in Ireland was suicide during the pandemic. Never mentioned it, but... And then people saying, "Oh, did you hear this in RT?" And I said, "No, I don't listen to them. I don't listen to them. I don't need to listen to them." And so that's the message I want to give to Catholics around Ireland. You drive the conversation. You drive the conversation. People will listen to you. People will listen to you. And that's really, really important. We have to give optimism. We don't need to go into an old abandoned seminary with our camera to depress people. People forget, for example, the Dominicans have 16 men studying for the priesthood. Didn't mention that yesterday, no? One congregation, one order in Ireland has 16 men studying for the priesthood at this moment in time in Ireland. The missionaries of the Blessed Eucharist in France have a number of Irishmen with them. And one of them is going to be ordained this month. There's a lot of stuff happening in the church that wasn't mentioned during that program, and I think it's time for us to take the reins of our own conversation now on the faith. We don't need them. They might come out looking for us. Why? The younger generations are not looking at RTE. If you want to get your message out to those that are in their teens or in their 20s or in their 30s, you're not going to do it on state television anymore. So it's time for Catholics to get into the media sphere where they can actually influence the conversation, and that's really important. And we have to give hope. We have to give hope. Really, there's so much happening, so much great work being done in the church around Ireland. If you go up to Derry, if you go to the different, this weekend we have Jim Brown has Terry Quinn, he has Franciscan Friar the Renewal there giving talks. There is a ton of stuff happening in the church in Ireland if you open your eyes. I'm just thinking about my own, where I live in Ireland, in Mayo. There's so much happening, and there's other stuff happening around Ireland. It's up to us to drive our own conversation. We don't need state media anymore to start painting our church in a negative light. I wasn't born. I didn't exist in 1960s. So why do I have to take ownership of problems or feel guilt or regret for other people's mistakes? We own our own destiny now. Anyway, just my thoughts on it. And, I encourage Catholics to get involved in this conversation and to renew the faith in a positive way. We don't need somebody to edit our conversations about the faith. We control our own conversations now. It's really important to know. And, just encourage the different platforms that are coming up. Immaculate Action Productions was Father Brendan has his podcast, You've Paving the Way, and you have Tony Foy and his wife, they're doing Breaking Bread, and you've all these different podcasts, and people look at these on their televisions. There's an app now on most smart televisions on their on Apple TV. People look at these things, and if we prepared good content, people will look at it and listen to it, and that's what we need to do. Anyway, time to give positivity for the faith. We don't need somebody to come along and edit us back into a hole. Say no to them. Bye. God bless you. Take care.